From showing the Sacramento Kings who's boss in their last game to giving King James a run for his money for the first time in history, this is why the Denver Nuggets will dominate the NBA Finals. Starting with their game against the Kings, the Nuggets went full force and showed off their depth and resilience against the Sacramento Kings recently. Maybe resting their starters was the perfect move because this sends the message that they're focused on winning the playoffs. I mean, sure, the Nuggets found themselves in a unique situation facing a team that decided to play their all-stars. But it was just a battle of the backups, with the second and third string players taking center stage and delivering a performance that left everyone's jaws wide open. Of course, the Kings came out swinging, jumping to an early lead against the Nuggets' understudies. Meanwhile, the Nuggets struggled to find their groove, except for Peyton Watson, who brought some serious energy with his impressive finishes. But here's where things get interesting. Nuggets coach Michael Malone, being the mastermind that he is, made some crafty lineup changes that turned the tide. We're talking Reggie Jackson, Ish Smith, Bruce Brown, Zeke Naji, and Thomas Bryant, who stepped onto the court and made a statement. Brown emerged as the hero of the game, putting up 21 points and leaving the defenders in his wake. It's no wonder why Coach Malone sees him as a sixth man, but the rest of the Nuggets showed their depth as well. As 6 of their players reached double figures in scoring, rebounding was another key factor that propelled the team to victory. They dominated the boards, out-muscling the Kings and securing crucial possessions that led to an impressive advantage in points in the paint, where Denver seemed unstoppable. Even the bench players outscored Sacramento's reserves, proving that they have talent running deep within their roster. I mean, they battled tooth and nail, chipping away at the Kings' lead. Brown continued to dazzle, knocking down shots and energizing the team. And then there was Reggie Jackson, who showcased his experience and playmaking skills. The man came in clutch when the team needed him most, making big shots and showing his ability to create for others. And how can I forget the fourth quarter, which was a dunk fest, with Thomas Bryant, Naji, and Jack White throwing down slams. The Nuggets had all the momentum, and they didn't let it slip away. Even Ish Smith's fancy dribbling and Jackson's sharp passing added to the excitement. It was a Showtime display that got fans talking about how well they could do in the playoffs. Thankfully, Coach Malone provided some hints about his potential rotation. Now, the starters were a given, but he singled out Brown as a virtual sixth man, deserving of a prominent role. Jeff Green and rookie Christian Braun also received high praise for their contributions throughout the season. As for the fringe players, Peyton Watson's athleticism caught Malone's eye, while Jackson's playoff experience made him a valuable asset. Needless to say, as seen by their performance against the Kings, it seems like the Nuggets are ready to make some serious noise in the playoffs. I mean, they even showed off their moves against the Lakers, so let's dive into their thrilling Game 3 showdown. It was a game that showcased the Nuggets' 3 secret weapons in all their glory, leaving the Lakers in awe and scrambling for answers. First up was the explosive Jamal Murray. This guy is like a human torch because once he gets going, there's no stopping him. In Game 2, he single-handedly snatched victory away from King James with his 23-point fourth quarter, and guess what? He wasn't done. In Game 3, Murray lit up the court with an impressive 30-point performance, propelling the team to a slim halftime lead. He was on fire and looked ready to join the elite ranks of players who've scored 60 points in a playoff game. Murray had the Lakers scratching their heads, wondering how to put out his flame, but the team had more tricks up their sleeves. Enter their secret weapon, depth. Sure, Murray was lighting it up, but when he took a breather, the rest of the squad stepped up in a big way. I mean, players like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Michael Porter Jr., Bruce Brown, and even Jeff Green made some amazing shots. They kept the scoreboard ticking and frustrated the Lakers to no end, even without their star power on the court. The team's supporting cast refused to back down, but let's talk about the man in the middle, Nikola Jokic. He may not have had the most impressive first 3 quarters, but when the pressure was on, he showed why he's an MVP caliber player. The player faced some old-fashioned foul trouble in the fourth quarter, but instead of crumbling under the weight of it, he rose to the occasion. With incredible poise and skill, he led the team down the stretch, scoring 15 points on a perfect 5-for-5 shooting. It was like watching an artist at work. His impact was undeniable, and the Lakers had no answers for his dominance in the clutch. The Nuggets had executed their game plan to perfection, showcasing their three greatest strengths in a mesmerizing display of basketball prowess. Their opponent could only tip their caps and admire the team's brilliance. It's no wonder they found themselves searching for motivation, resorting to cliches about taking it one game at a time. The Nuggets had left a mark on the series, and the Lakers were left scrambling to find a way to stop their momentum. Now, one might wonder if the Lakers can make a historic comeback, defy the odds, and maybe the playoff history books. Well, it's a tall order, but in the world of sports, anything can happen. We'll just have to wait and see how this series unfolds, but as long as the Nuggets have a player like Jokic, it'll be super hard for most teams to compete. I mean, seriously, this guy is rewriting the playbook on what it means to dominate the court. And guess what? He's taking Denver on a wild ride to uncharted territory. Jokic put on an absolute show with 30 points, 14 rebounds, and 13 assists. This helped the team punch their ticket to the NBA Finals for the first time. They didn't just win, they swept the Western Conference Finals with a heart-stopping 113-111 victory over the mighty Lakers. But let's not forget about Jokic's partner in crime, Jamal Murray. The man dropped 25 points in the game, proving that the Nuggets aren't playing around and that they mean business. They didn't even let LeBron James and his 31-point first half kill their spirits. Instead, they rallied from a 15-point halftime deficit and snatched their first conference title in 47 seasons. It was a long time coming, and you could feel the excitement radiating from Murray as he described this journey. He called it incredible and surreal, and you know what? They aren't done yet. They've got their eyes set on making history, and they've got the mindset to back it up and are hungry for more success. But let's not forget about Jokic's mind-blowing performance. The man recorded his 8th triple-double of the playoffs by the third quarter, breaking a record set by the legendary Wilt Chamberlain. He's making waves and leaving his mark on the game. I mean, even when he found himself in foul trouble in the fourth quarter, he didn't back down. He stayed on that court for a jaw-dropping 33 minutes straight, delivering clutch plays left, right, and center. And man, did he deliver when it mattered most. Let me take you back to the final seconds of the game when the tension in the air was thicker than ever. I mean, the guy bulldozed past Anthony Davis for a game-winning layup, showing off his nerves of steel. The Nuggets knew what was at stake, and they rose to the occasion like true champions. Of course, Coach Michael Malone couldn't help but show how proud he was, and why wouldn't he? Facing a superstar like King James isn't easy, but the Nuggets showed a deep understanding of how to play at the top level, proving that they belong on the big stage. Now, let's give credit where credit is due. Even though the Lakers lost, King James dropped an astonishing 40 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and dished out 9 assists. That's MVP-level performance right there. But even with the legend putting up those big numbers, the Nuggets had an answer for everything. They shut down the Lakers' attempts to force a Game 5, and Aaron Gordon stepping up to block James's last-second shot at the buzzer. So what's next for them? Well, they're headed to the NBA Finals to battle it out for that coveted championship. It's their first ever shot at the title, and you better believe they're hungry for it this time. The Boston Celtics are trying to mount a comeback in the East Finals, but if they fall short, the Nuggets will go head-to-head with the Miami Heat in what promises to be an epic showdown starting on June 1st. LeBron James may be the king, but the Nuggets are proving that they're ready to challenge the throne. This team has come a long way, eliminating the Lakers for the first time in playoff history and sweeping their way through the postseason. So from proving to LeBron James that they mean business to a legendary performance against the Sacramento Kings, now that's why the Denver Nuggets will dominate the NBA Finals.